What up, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy John G with another one, and I am, headed to practice right now. But I decided I was going to do a video based on the 53-man roster moves that has just kind of transpired. Now I wanted to wait until the roster was kind of set in stone before the Cowboys decide to take off and go with the roster that they're going to play the Panthers with. And there were a couple of surprise cuts that did come through, and I know that a lot of people heard about it. Dan Bailey being one of them, and I'll touch on that a little bit later. Jihad Ward, I think, is kind of one of them, being that they traded Ryan Switzer for him. It appears that it was pretty much just a way to get rid of Ryan Switzer and give a defensive tackle an opportunity just to get a tryout, to see if what they saw a couple years ago on tape was just a mistake as far as Oakland goes, and maybe they could turn them into something if Rod Marinelli could help. And apparently it just is what it is. He got cut. Another surprise cut to me was when you go to the running back position. I was not expecting the running back position to be as short as it is, being that there's only two running backs. You got Rod Smith and Ezekiel Elliott. Now, obviously, we got the fullback. We got Olawale at the fullback position, but I was not expecting us to go so short at running back. And also, I was not expecting us to carry three quarterbacks. I thought that maybe you might have been able to cut Mike White or cut Cooper Rush and, get one of those guys back on the practice squad. So I did not expect us to go three quarterbacks. Four tight ends, I kind of touched on that a couple of days ago with Rico, where, Rico was making plays in the preseason and didn't seem like the other guys were really separating themselves. So it appears that what they've talked about earlier in the offseason is that they're going to attack this thing by committee, and rightfully so. You'll probably get three of the four dressing on Sundays, depending on the type of matchups. That's probably what you will get. What this really lets me know is that Rico, they're really high on Rico, but they're not sure. And if Rico can kind of somehow get everything in order as far as knowing all of his assignments and, just carrying things in a fluid position, Rico's probably going to be the guy. That's kind of what this tells me with the four guys. Obviously, with Schultz, he's a fourth-round pick, so they don't want to say, hey, we drafted a bust, or, they want to give him a chance to develop. With Jarwin and Swaim, you know what it is with those two. In my opinion, Swaim is probably just as much of a wild card as Rico is, but it is what it is. The linebacker position, we're pretty set there. I believe we got about six guys. Joe Thomas, Justin March-Lilliard, which somebody asked me about him earlier this preseason. I didn't know anything about him, but he proved to be a pretty solid guy. You got Covington, who was drafted by us, and this is really a surprise for me. Not that we kept him, but the fact that, it seems like they may have possibly hit on that guy, and I know that he'll be a key contributor on special teams. Obviously, you got Sean Lee, you got Smith, and you got Leighton Vander Esch. So that goes it for our linebackers. Pass rush, we aren't really surprised at what transpired there. DB-wise, I still kind of feel that safety, we're not really set there. And we never know, man. There might be a trade here or there. Hopefully, I'm begging you guys to get Earl Thomas. But if not, we picked up a guy from the Texans. I forget his name, but he has 0 interceptions in his career. But I believe that they believe that he's a solid guy, so we'll see where it goes there. But we don't know if Xavier Woods will be here for week 1, but I guess that's why they added the safety depth that they did. We have Jeff Heath obviously starting. Corners, you got Byron Jones. You got Jordan Lewis, Cheeto, and Anthony Brown there at the corners position. So we'll see, man. I'm not as down as a lot of Cowboy fans are about our roster. Because, see, if we go ahead and make that trade that we were talking about, then we become a contender. So I believe that one move right there could set our defense from really good to an elite type of defense, but we'll see. We know that we'll be able to run the football. As far as receivers go, we'll see. They're attacking that by committee as well. A couple of the guys that you know, but there's no real surprise there. Other than the fact that it's really just go time. But that's pretty much all I got, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the 53-man roster. Are you guys confident that this can be a playoff team? I'm confident that this team right now, as constructed, can win the division. I am confident in that, and I will say that the Cowboys will be a playoff team. That's how confident I am in how this is going to play out. But we'll see, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell each time I put out content, and let's continue the conversation. The 53-man roster as it sets right now, are you confident in it? All right, guys. Peace out.